Hey guys, what's going on here? It's Dennis with Grass Monkey Lawn Care coming at you with a live video this evening. Go ahead and get some stuff set up here for the live chat for you. Wait for some people to get in here so we can get this thing started. And we'll get things rolling for you. Just one sec here. Get this going. Alright, so here's kind of what I got going on in this video, guys. No, I haven't done much activity for you lately, but wanted to go over a few things, do a little live Q&A with you, and talk about some estimates. That seems to be the number one question that I get a lot, and from what I can understand, a lot of other people are getting. And from there, I just want to talk about some goals for the season too. Let me see if I get my chat to pull up. For some reason, it is not pulling up right now. Give me 1 second. Just bear with me here. Here we go. So that's kind of what I want to talk about this evening. Talking about estimates and stuff, like I said, and we can kind of answer questions as we go along, as people come in and check the video out and leave whatever they want to leave for questions and stuff. But as far as estimates goes, guys, I get a lot of questions as far as, how do I bid this property? How do I bid that property? What would you charge for this job? What would you charge for that job? Hey, I have a yard that's this big, or I have a mulch job. What would you charge? Well, the simple answer to that question that I seem to find is, you can't give someone else that answer because everybody else's market is different. The only thing I can tell you is what I would do on my estimates and how I do them. So basically, the way I do it is, let's say we're gonna go bid some lawn care. We're gonna try and find a bid. Someone calls us, hey, come check us out. I want to get some weekly service with you. First thing I do is I'll just drive out to the property, walk around, take a look at it, look at the edges, the condition of the grass, is it irrigated, what schedule they wanted to be on. But this year's gonna be a little bit different due to the fact that we're doing mostly all weekly accounts. I've taken effect, like I said, what's the edges look, how much trimming is there, how much time am I gonna be there, you know, how much landscaping, how much stuff's in the yards, do they have a bunch of like solar lighting that's gonna be in the way, what obstacles are there. Gates is another big one. What can you get in the backyard if they have a gate? Do you get to bring like a 48 back there? Or do you have to take a 36 back there? Those are the kind of things I look at whenever I'm doing the lawn care part of it, as far as estimates go. And it comes up real simple and easy now. If you want to go by the square footage, it doesn't hurt to go ahead and before you go out there, you can pull up Google Maps real quick, measure the square footage. I know people do that also. That way you can have an idea as far as how much square foot you're working with. I've started doing that this year. That way I can provide a better estimate because I'm trying to go more towards a structured pricing per square foot. I watched a couple of videos where people have these amazing spreadsheets that they're using for their estimates for their lawn care part of it. And it looked like a really good formula. So that's something I'm trying this year, is to make myself more profitable, is to look at those spreadsheets, look at the square footage, and then also physically go to the yard itself and take a look at it and then shoot them their price based off of that. I don't like to just go off Google Maps because that's not always updated. Sometimes you're not getting all what you're seeing. So it's best just to drive out there also and get a good set of eyes on it and then give them the price like that. As far as like, let's say we're doing like a mulch job. I have a measuring wheel that I use. I measure the whole area off and I use my measuring wheel, get the square footage, and it's real simple, guys. When you do that, hey, Mr. Gentry, what's going on, brother? Haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you're doing good, man. But yeah, let's say like you're doing like a rectangle bed, and then you have, let's say, a oval bed, and then you have the same kind of stuff in the back. Well, all you got to do is measure off each bed, get your dimensions all the way around the house, write them down, get your total square foot, and then you just need to find out how deep they want to go, whether it's going to be 2 inches or 3 inches or whatever you want to do on it. And then based off that, you get how much material you need. You contact your local landscape shop or however you buy your mulch, whether you buy it in bulk or you buy bag mulch, whatever. And you just do it that way. You base it off that. Now, when I do mulch work for estimate, guys, I do it a little bit different. Everybody prices that differently as far as how they do it. I price mine by time by the job. Some people will price, well, I charge X amount of dollars per bag, or this or this. I don't do that personally. I just say, okay, we're going to be putting 5 yards of mulch down. It's going to take X amount of time to do it. I take my hourly rate for that, and I give them that on top of the material. That's how I price my mulch work. There's a lot of different ways to do it. That's just how I've done it. Seems to work fine with me. Plenty profitable on it. So that's kind of how I do the mulch bids. What's going on, Mr. Austin? How you doing, buddy? And let's say we're doing landscape bids, guys. Okay, so how do you bid landscape jobs? Well, it all depends on what they're wanting to do. I'm going to be doing an estimate real soon. It's going to be, let's say we're doing a total tear out all the way around the house and all the beds. And then we're going to go back in and we're going to redesign their landscape and reinstall it. So for the tear out, basically I'm doing the same thing. With this job here, you have to figure in, okay, do I need equipment that I don't have? So in this situation, I'm going to go get a Toro Dingo, and I'm going to factor that equipment cost into that project. And then I'm going to factor that in, and I'm going to go around and I'm going to say, well, it's going to take me 6 hours to, demo this whole landscape, get everything out. So I take that 6 hours times my hourly rate, and then I also need to factor in, disposal cost or dump fees, and that's how I give them my estimate for the tear out. Now the redesign and install. So basically, what I do is I take the plant itself and I double the cost to drop it in the ground. I do that on every single plant. That's kind of how I do that. And then the design work is just basically based off time that I have to sit down and design it, which is based off my hourly rate that I also charge them for too. So that's kind of how I structure like the landscape part of it, especially like when you're doing like plants and shrubs, or you have to plant them. So let's say it's a $50 shrub, I charge $50 to drop it. I always just double the cost of the plant. That's how I've done it. Seems to work fine for me. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways, guys. I just strictly want to say this, like there's a lot of ways to price structure what you do. I'm not saying my way is the correct way, it's just the way I do it. And where I'm at, I'm in the Midwest in Kansas, so you might see different pricing done somewhere else or different styles. Everybody's got their own way of doing it, but that's just how I do that part there. Trimming shrubs, so I do it like a lot of other people do as far as like pricing shrub trimming. I just look at the bush. If it's a smaller bush, $5 bush. Medium-sized bush, it's $10. If it's a large one, it's 15 to 20. That's just kind of, I just go by around the whole entire property. I just like, okay, there's 5, there's a $10 bush, there's a $15 bush. I just walk around and do all that, and that's count how many shrubs you have to trim times what you priced each shrub at, and bam, there's your shrub trimming price. Real simple and easy. Cleanup jobs. Basically on stuff like that, it's based off what the customer really wants. We're doing the standard leaf cleanup. It's usually, if it's not real bad, I just double the mowing charge I would for it, because I don't bag anymore. We mulch it all up basically. So, if we get a yard that's really just overtaken by leaves, then it goes to an hourly rate. So if I think it's going to take me 4 hours to blow everything out and do it all, then that's the cost of it for that. I mean, we do have some leaf cleanups that are roughly, I know I have 2 that are $250 to $300 leaf cleanups that I do on residential yards. And then spring cleanups are the same thing. Spring cleanups I think are a little bit different. Like you're still maybe dealing with leaves, but I also try and upsell like re-edging the beds, new mulch, shrub trimming, so that can turn into a lot more profitable job. Because what I do is, okay, so if it's a spring cleanup, like I'm gonna be dealing with leaves, well then I have a double the mow charge. And then if I'm gonna be re-edging their beds and trimming the shrubs and doing mulch, then I just factor all that in as far as how I'm doing it, and it more or less goes to an hourly rate, and you're making plenty of money on that. As far as the cleanup stuff goes, like in the beds and the redefining and the shrub trimming and the mulch as we put back in. So just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about estimates. Like I said, that seems to be the hottest topic talked about, not only on YouTube, but if you go on some of these Facebook forums, there's a lot of people on there that are asking questions about it. And you get a lot of guys that are on there that are just jerks and don't want to help anybody out and just call them newbies or they're idiots or this or that and don't offer any advice to them. Like I said, I'm just basically telling you how I do it. Like I said, could be wrong, but for me it works. The reason why I kind of talked about that a little bit is because I was on Facebook recently and I saw a couple of people post some stuff, and the response back to them was really nasty and it was just uncalled for. And that's why I just don't post questions on any kind of Facebook groups anymore, just because the people on there that thinks they've been doing it for 5 to 10 years are just Mr. Know-it-all, or you're just a moron because you haven't been in business for 10 years or whatever. So I just always put out information on what I do, how I do it. That's what the channel is all about. That's what makes my channel unique, is I just offer you my perspective on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. I'm not saying everything is always right all the time. I mean, I'm not a textbook guy per se, but I do what works for me and my business. So, just like I said, I just want to talk a little bit about the estimate part, and that was it right there for you. And then goals, guys. I want to talk more about goals this season. I know I kind of shot a video about how to double the profits and how I plan to double the profits in my business just off my existing customer base and my future customer base. But I never really set you guys any like firm goals as far as where I want to be at. You know, this past week I've been contacting a lot of my customers, getting a lot of my customers to respond back to me on my current list saying, hey, we're going to use you again. So I'm getting all those guys kind of emailing back, so I have a firm count on my customer list. Looks like we're going to probably start the season with about roughly, I think a little over 40 customers. We'll probably be around 43, 44 customers to start the season. I'm still waiting though on one very large estimate I put out. It's a $30,000 estimate I gave to somebody. And I also provided another company that has 11 commercial properties. I'm still waiting to hear back from them on that one. So those are two huge pending accounts that I'm waiting to hear back from. That could be a game changer for me and my business if I land these things. So keep my fingers crossed on that. But some of the goals, guys, basically I want to take my sales for the season and I want to double those sales. I'm not saying double my client list. I'm saying double the total sales in the company. Because if you double your client list, it's going to make more work for you. Granted, there's more money, but there's other ways to make revenue and double your sales in your business. So I'm really trying hard to focus on landscape work this year, sod work. I do want to grow my mowing list substantially, and I'd like to hit over 100 mowing clients this season. I think it's achievable. It's just got to take a lot of hard work and effort to get it done. But the doubling the sales of my business is the most biggest thing. I want to do that. That's something I really want to accomplish this year. I want to take it to a whole nother level. That way by next year, I'm sitting in a really, really good position to make this thing really fly going into the fourth year business. So that's been my biggest goal for the season, though, is to double the sales. Someone's asking about business insurance. Well, I'll answer that for you. You got to have it. I wouldn't recommend that you from day one you have it. You never know what's going to happen. I am covered under general liability for $1 million. I have commercial truck insurance for my company truck is covered under commercial insurance. I have workers' comp insurance that is all set up for employees, and some commercial accounts will require you to have that. You cannot touch their properties unless you carry that policy on there. I'm really insured for the business. It's really covered. And then also my equipment, trailer, mowers, all that stuff's it's all covered under insurance. So if something was to happen, we're covered. So I don't it was kind of a vague question. This has business insurance ? But if you want to add more details, if it's something you want to know about from me on that, feel free to leave something on there. But yeah, business insurance is a big one. Got to have it. There's guys that don't have it, and that's a risk they run if they were to break something out trimming, shoot a rock out the side, blast a window out. Typically those guys are here today and gone tomorrow. Not saying all of them, but I think it's just really important that you do have some kind of insurance set up in your business. All right. And then as far as some other goals in the company, guys, so basically I got to find a way to generate more income come next fall and winter. I don't want to be working for somebody else. I found it out this winter. I'm just wrapping up my winter jobs. One of them's done as of last week, and the other job I was doing in the winter will be done probably in about 10 days. But I found out that I don't want to have to worry about money in the wintertime. I don't enjoy working for other people. When you work by yourself, those sales and that money is going into your business and to you. When you work for somebody else, it's going to their owner, their company. And so it's really hard for me to see that from that perspective when you work for yourself and then you've seen the other side of it when you're working for somebody else. I just don't enjoy doing it. I don't want to have to do it next winter. So I got to brainstorm an idea as far as starting another side thing up to keep myself busy through the wintertime to keep generating money in. But I also want to set myself up for success and have enough money in the bank to not sweat anything in the wintertime and just live very, very, very comfortably through the winter because I'm just tired of worrying about money. I don't want to have that issue anymore. So that's something else I really got to work on. Let's see. Speaking of insurance, what's your thought on an LLC? I've got that gal that will set me up for 375. I think it'd be worth it big time to separate the company from personal assets. You know, that's something that's a really good thought right there. The LLC thing. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be my last year as a sole proprietor. Then I will be switching my business over to an LLC just because I want to make sure that I want to separate, you know, if something was dramatically bad to happen, even though you're insured, if someone chooses to sue you and you're a sole proprietor, they can sue you and get everything. Like not only the business stuff, but your home assets, your personal assets, everything. So the benefit to going to LLC is it's a limited liability corporation, which means if something was to seriously happen to something in the business, they can only touch the business side of it, and that doesn't affect anything in your personal life. That's a good one. I mean, that's something I'm doing next season. I think for 375, it's well worth it. I would do it. Like I said, I'm doing it next season. I'll have to get in contact with you on that and who you're using and make sure we meet up on that and discuss that more and kind of see what I can do as far as getting a game plan together for making my business LLC for the following season. So, and then some other goals, guys. What do we else for goals for the season for me? I need to add, this trailer here, I want to get rid of it, and I want to get a dual axle, probably 18-foot to 16-foot trailer. I want to take all my mowers with me every single day, and by me doing that, adding the trailer, a newer trailer style, I have to add another mower into the business. I want to add something like a 48 or a 52. I'm really trying to find a walker that either does a rear discharge or like a mulching deck possibly. I'd really like to find another one. I'm shopping right now for them, so when I have the money start rolling in, I'm able to start pursuing that and have a game plan as far as what I want to do. But I'm also open to other options. You know, I guess I've always been a Skag guy too, so that's something else I'm looking at. But I'd really like to stay with Walker. That way, there's less dealers to go to, less headaches to deal with. You go to one stop, get your stuff. You don't have to go to multiple dealers. You know, here, and here. So that's some other stuff I'm looking to do. And I've told you guys in the past, like I am going to experiment with some different stick equipment this year. I'm going to buy a new edger probably in the next couple weeks. Just want to check it out. I want to try a new brand, so I think about going over to Steel and try either their like one of their edgers out or something. I just want to branch myself out and open my mind up to different things besides the Husqvarna stuff that I love to use. I want to see if something else is better than what I'm currently using. So that's something else that we're going to be planning on doing this year. Because I mean, I'm pretty dedicated to Husqvarna. They've always done me pretty well. They're affordable, they hold up, but I've never tried anything else. So how do I know what the competition's like? I mean, I've tried Echo, one of their lower level trimmers, and I don't like the feel of it in my hands. The weight distribution is really weird to me. It feels funky. And when I work with my Husqvarna trimmers, they feel perfect. They're light, they're nimble, and they got power. And I love using them, and I've used them from day one. You know, so we'll see. I mean, I'm going to kind of do a comparison between either like a Steel, Husqvarna, or something like that as far as the stick equipment goes. But I'm definitely going to open my eyes up to some other options out there as far as that goes. And also, I'm thinking about also trying to, if everything falls into place, is buying another setup for a truck, because I like to, by year 4, have another small trailer and maybe throw a one-man crew in another truck, or get someone to run that trailer and then I run the other one. I just want to start expanding a little bit, thinking about expansion. So that's something that's kind of down the road for me, but it's also in my mind. It's also a goal that I have set. I mean, I'm trying to set some high goals for my business and for myself. So that way I really try super hard to meet those goals. I feel like if you don't set lofty goals to go after, but keep them realistic, that when you wake up each day, I mean, you don't know what you're going forward to achieve. I mean, you don't know where you want to go. You know, I know where I want to go. I mean, I want to grow this thing up to be a nice sized company. Like I said before, I'm not looking to have the 5, 6, 7, 8 crews on the road and be the multi-billion-dollar company out there, trying to rule the roost. That's not me. That's not what I want to be. I want to keep my business on the smaller side, keep it efficient, and keep the quality of work at a very high level. Something I've learned through the years of doing this now is, and these are calls that I'm getting even this year, is these mega companies might have quantity of accounts, but that doesn't mean anything about quality. their need for quality sometimes is dropped off because they have so many employees they can't manage everything the way they should be, and that's why they call me or guys like me that are similar sized companies, that we pride ourselves on the quality of work and how we do our work, and we care a lot about what that property looks like. So that's how we tend to gain a lot of customer base, especially here in Wichita, because we have about 3 mega companies here. Then there's a whole bunch of us that are either solo guys or they have maybe 2 trucks, maybe 3 trucks out running. But there's just a difference between pride and ownership in your business and wanting each customer to be happy and make sure the properties look, extremely well, no matter what the job is, whether you're just mowing it, if it's a one-time visit for some landscape work, versus those guys where they've kind of forgotten about where they came from and they've just wanted to focus on build my company huge, huge, huge. So that's something that's really going for me here, is stuff like that. That's one of the big properties I was telling you about, the estimates I put on. That was from a company that was really large here that wasn't taking very good care of them, and now they're no longer taking care of it. So that's why I've had the opportunity for my company, the smaller guy, to go in and bid on that, where most of the times we're kind of locked out of some of those properties like that. I'm starting to see the doors open for me in those avenues as far as, at least getting the shot at getting a contract like that. So how we doing, Mr. Acme Mowing? I hope you're doing well down there in Oklahoma. So you guys got any questions for me? I know we're hitting about the 20-minute mark here, so you guys got any questions, feel free to throw them up there. I'm gonna be ending this video here pretty quick, but I'd like to answer as many questions as I can while I'm here on here. And something else that someone asked me actually was Acme. Every door direct mail, do I do it? I have not done it, and I'm not doing it this season. It's something I want to experiment with in the future, probably next season. I'm just trying to swallow the fact of the cost of it, because I've costed here, and some of that stuff for the zip codes I want to focus on and where I want to be, and plus getting material printed. For me being so young in business, it was just a staggering amount of money for me to justify spending that at the moment. I'm starting to see a lot of people have success with it through different avenues on YouTube I've read, and just different forums. So it's something I'm definitely looking into, but as far as right now, we have not put anything out as far as every door direct mail yet. So I thought I'd answer that for you while I saw that you were here. I knew you left that comment on one of my videos. Thought I'd just give that real quick answer to you. But if you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free to throw them up there. I do want to say thanks for a lot of the new subscribers that came onto the channel. We've had a pretty good growth rate here lately on that, and I'm going to be setting you guys up more of a video schedule for the season as the season starts. I do have a feeling that we'll probably start mowing. I would say I want to get one cut in on all my customers, get everything cleaned up in March. So I know that'll probably be in like the 3rd week of March. I'm getting a lot of calls right now for like yard renovations, people wanting sod, a little bit of landscape work, a little bit of cleanup work. So I'm starting to get my phone to ring a little bit now, but I have a feeling in about 2 weeks things are going to be insane. The weather is starting to maintain 50s in the day, 30s at night, 60s in the day, 35 at night. So we're getting close. The only problem we're having here is we have no rain. We've had no rain for a long time. We've had a little bit of ice over the winter. Didn't have any snow per se, but that's kind of what's holding us back at the moment. We need moisture and a lot of it to get these yards kicked up and get them going. So let's see. Luis says yard sign flyers we're good. I live in Massachusetts, still cold and nasty weather. See, that's something I am going to try, I think, this year, is getting some yard signs printed up and just throw them in. But the problem I have where I'm located at, so like I try and focus a lot on these higher end HOAs, and inside the HOAs themselves, like you really can't put your yard sign in them. I know the one I live in, the HOA I live in, like that's not really, they kind of frown upon it. You are able to leave the little flyers though, the flags that you can put in the yard after the yard's treated, like because they're there and gone real fast, like the next day, like they're out of the yard. But like as far as actual yard signs inside of the actual HOAs, really can't do it in the area that I'm concentrated in. There's some homes I could do it in, but a lot of them I can't. And then you can leave them outside of these HOAs. They'll be there for roughly about 48 hours before the president or one of the people on the board for that HOA pulls up and yanks them all. That tends to happen a lot on all the entrances to the HOAs where I'm at. Like they'll be there roughly 2 days and then they're gone. Sometimes just a day, depends when you plan them. If you plan them on the weekend, they won't be there 24 hours. They'll be gone. And they had like Fresh Cut saying he's a local guy too. So his yard signs, they say he works great for him. Um, so let's see. Let's see. UZ marketing 100 signs for $100. Is that a double-sided sign, Luis, that you're pricing, or is it just a single side, or is it what are you getting for the $100 on your signs at that price? That's a really good price. $1 a sign. That's damn good. So, um, no, single-sided. Okay, that's still. I mean, it's still not bad. $1 a sign. 100 signs. That's pretty good. Are those the signs that you're using, Luis, that you've purchased and they've worked for you? Let's see. As far as the fertilization and getting all that stuff, it's slow. We're getting things kind of put together for it. Um, that's something I'm since I'm not working at my day job now, since that's disappeared. Tomorrow is going to be a very busy day for me in the daytime because I have to focus on not only responding to the rest of the customer client list, waiting for those emails to come back, but also have to follow up with a couple estimates. But I've got to finish up the list for all the weed control fertilization people that are going to be coming up. So let's see, DTN Professional Window Cleaning. What is going on, man? Congrats on your new clients that you picked up in your brand new window cleaning business. Very happy for you, buddy. Let's see. So Luis is saying that they're single-sided and they do work for him. So if that's the website, I'm going to Google them when I get done with this video and take a look at it. And I'm going to look more into that. Do I pass out flyers? I did my first year. I did it kind of limited. What I really do for marketing, since we're talking about marketing at this point, is I use an app called Nextdoor. And I know I've talked about this before. I'll just kind of touch on it real quick. What that is, it's a local specialized app, which I believe it's nationwide from what I've understood. I mean, I think it is. And it ties you into every single HOA that is in your town. Like where I'm at, there is a ton of HOAs, and they all use it to communicate like different things going on within their HOA, and also you can broadcast it to all the HOAs in the whole entire city. So say I want to put an ad on there or just advertise, hey, I'm Grass Monkey Lawn Care. We're offering weekly lawn service. Give me a call or call for a free estimate. I can hit that, and then I can put send. It'll send it out to all the HOAs. So everybody in every single HOA in Wichita and surrounding cities that have HOAs will see that. Does it work? Yes, it does. I've gotten ornamental grass trimming jobs off of that, landscape jobs off of it, lawn care customers off of it. I've had word of mouth because let's say someone's on there and they say, looking for recommendations for a landscape project, looking for recommendations for lawn care. Well, if you're doing business with people that are a part of that app, they'll recommend you, and it's free advertising, it's word of mouth through that app. They say, oh, I'm going to recommend Grass Monkey Lawn Care. Go ahead and check him out. And it gives you an opportunity that you didn't even know about until it gives you an email saying your business was recommended to so-and-so. And you can follow up and go, hey, I just noticed that someone recommended my business to you. I'm so-and-so, I own the business. I would love to meet with you and discuss your project. And boom, you're in. You have a chance to win a project or a job and make money. So I use Nextdoor a lot. And then word of mouth has been a really big thing for me getting business. And let's see, Luis, I do not use Thumbtack. That is the most annoying thing I've ever seen in my life. The emails you get from that are just outrageous. Your phone goes off all day long with this crap you don't even want to use. They're asking you do you want to bid on junk removal or crap like that. I had a bad experience with it. I don't use Thumbtack. Just not for me. What's the best way to get customers? Well, I'm kind of going through that right now, Steven. Let's see. Fresh Cut says, I must be doing it wrong. It wants me to sign up like I'm a homeowner. You do have to sign up like you're a homeowner to get in it. That's something you have to do to get a part of it. If you have any questions, just shoot me a text and I'll tell you. Or actually, I'll be contacting you probably this week because I got, I'll probably hear from you Monday anyways on that job that we were talking about. But I can walk you through the Nextdoor app thing. I can make another video on it if that's something you guys want to see. I will go and make a brand new new review video of Nextdoor if you want, and kind of walk back through the whole thing. That might be something I actually plan on doing since a lot of people are asking about it. Let's see, Home Advisor. I used Home Advisor for 1 year. If you haven't seen my review video, Home Advisor, please go check it out. A lot of people have watched it. And actually, Home Advisor just recently contacted me to try to get me back on board with them again. Trying to give me this very sweet reduced deal to get me back on board with them. And once again, I told them no. Flat out, no. The reason is they have bad leads. The return policy on your credits is horrible. I'm not a big fan of it. How to find customers video, or how to find customers, do a video on that. Okay, I mean, I can do that, like a marketing video, as far as how I market. I just got done launching a dual Facebook campaign as far as advertising. I just launched this thing 2 days ago. So what I'll do is when that's up, because it's running for 14 days, I have 2 different ads running at the same time. I'll make a video as far as the results I had, did I get customers from it, what my ad looked like, and kind of how you do it. So that's something I'll put up too for you to kind of show you kind of how I advertise on the Facebook part of it and the success I either have or don't have with this ad, the 2 ads I'm running currently. That's something else I can do too. You know, other forms of marketing that I do, like I said, is word of mouth. That seems to be the biggest thing. If you're doing really good work, you get a lot of neighbors that are asking about you. You know, this past season I had in 2 neighborhoods, 2 different houses, where the neighbors were like, man, your yard looks really great all season. Like, who did your yard for you? Oh, Grass Monkey Lawn Care does that. Here's their card, or here's their information. Give a call. And then on another job, it was a newer customer last year, the president HOA, and this HOA is huge. It has, I think, about 400 houses in it. He noticed the way the transformation from when the house looked before and when these guys bought the house. I went in and did all their shrubs, all their landscape stuff, and then I was getting the yard back to life because they basically killed the damn thing. And he was just amazed by the transformation as far as what it was to what it is now. And he asked who did it, and they told him me. So what he did was they had their own Facebook page just for their HOA, and he put my stuff on there and said, you might want to contact this guy because I've seen some of his work and it looked great. So here's his company name, here's his information, and that worked. I got 3 aeration and overseeding jobs just off that guy in that neighborhood. So there's some different ways to market. It's called Nextdoor, Luis. Nextdoor. You can go to your Play Store on your phone if you have like an iPhone or Android, and you can pull it up. You can also get on Google, Google Nextdoor app, and it'll also take you there also. So there's 2 different ways, one by your phone or one by your computer, and check it out, and you can see from there. What other questions you guys got for me? Anything else, or is it just basically marketing you guys want to know about? But honestly, the best way to get new customers out there is just work hard and do good work. Your work's going to speak for itself. People are going to see it. Your customers are going to love it, and then they're going to recommend you. You know, I don't use Craigslist hardly ever. I'd have to be in a spot where I really need to drum up some business for me to use it. But I did use it a lot my first year. It does work. It's just the problem is you're not getting very high quality accounts off of it. You might land a couple out of like maybe 3 out of like 15 might be really, really good ones. But the other people are just looking for a really cheap price, and most likely it's going to be a bi-weekly account. Some might be monthly. It just depends. A lot of those guys just don't care about what their yard looks like. It's just, I want something cheap. So that's kind of my talk about marketing anyways. You guys got anything else for me, or I'm going to probably end up ending this thing pretty quick. So let's see. We got 12 people on here right now, but it seems like the questions are kind of slowing down. So yeah, guys, I think I'm just going to wrap the video up now. Like I said, I will follow up with a video about the Facebook ad, what the results were on it. Did I get customers or did I not? And I'll show you how many people it reached. I can show you the demographics of the people, from the ages to men and women, all that stuff. It'll give me all that information. So I'll do that, and then we'll do a follow-up video on the Nextdoor thing too. So I want to thank everybody for watching the video. I appreciate it. Yeah, as always, guys, if you like the video, leave me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. If there's anybody who hasn't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'll be putting out a schedule for you guys for the season coming up really soon. But other than that, guys, I want to say thank you, and I appreciate you guys, and have a good night.